So we're talking about circles today, and we've talked about these before. This is something we looked at in college algebra. The standard form for a circle is going to be x minus h, where h is the x value from the center, plus y minus k. K is the y value from the center. So x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. This is my horizontal distance squared plus my vertical distance squared gives me my hypotenuse squared. That's just Pythagorean theorem. Now we are going to learn how to find things from that standard form. Sorry about the bell. And then we're also going to look at general form, which means everything has been multiplied out, and look at how to write the equation from that. So if I'm given a center, 2, 3, that's my h and my k, and the radius of 4 means that is my r is 4. So if we look at that form, it was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So I would put h is 2 and the y value, k, is 3, equals r squared. That'd be 4 squared. That'd be 16. Now, what about going backwards? What if I'm given the equation? Well, x minus h, y minus k. That means my h is 2 and my k is 1. So the center is 2, 1. And the radius, that's the radius squared. So my radius is 7. Now, if I am given the general form, which is all written out, what we can do is start by grouping like terms. So I'm going to group the x's to, whoops, oh, almost messed up there, minus 4x. And then we have y squared plus 6y equals, and I'm going to move this constant to the other side just to give myself some more room. Now, if we remember back, when we did completing the square back in college algebra, I want to review how perfect squares work. How we get x minus 2 squared, y minus 1 squared, y minus 3 squared, how that happens. Well, if I have, and I'm just going to use some other numbers, x plus 5 squared, that's going to be x plus 5 times x plus 5. That's going to be x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25. Those middle terms add together to give me x squared plus 10x plus 25. So when we really think about a squared, x plus 5 squared, that's x plus 5 times x plus 5. 5 plus 5 is 10, and 5 times 5 is 25. So if I had x minus 7, well, I know I'd have an x minus 7 and an x minus 7. So the negative 7s would add together to give me my middle term. In other words, it's negative 7 plus negative 7, or 2 times negative 7. And then that number times itself gives me the last term. So the last term would be negative 7 squared, which is 49. So this is the beautiful pattern that a perfect square always gives me. Well, what if I want to work backwards, which is what we're doing here? Excuse me. So I'm given part of that. Notice on these, we always had a constant at the end that was that number in the parentheses squared, number in the parentheses squared. So I'm missing something here. Well, I'm missing something here too. So I'm going to start with the x's. And I want to think, I'm going to turn this into x something squared. Okay, well, when I looked at these middle terms, 10, and inside the parentheses was a 5, negative 14, and then the parentheses had a negative 7. If I take half of this number, that's going to go right in that parentheses. But now I need to still know what I'm missing there. So what I'm missing there is what makes the perfect square. So that would be negative 7 times itself. Negative 7 times negative 7 is 49. I am missing a positive 49. But I just added that to one side of the equation, so I'm going to add it to the other as well. Why did I say 49? Why did I say 7? Wow, I'm tired. That should have been a 2, half of 4. I was looking at that example we had here, 14 and 7. That should be x minus 2 squared, which would make that a plus 4. I knew something didn't look right. Now let's try the y's. Maybe I'll do a better job with that. Y half of 6. And what's missing is that there's a plus in between these. That 3 squared, which is a 9. So that would give me 3 plus 4 plus 9, 16. That means my center is at 2, negative 3. And my radius, that's the radius squared. So my radius is 4. Let's try a couple more, and hopefully I don't make mistakes. X minus h. So the h is a 1. So my center is at 1 comma. Now, there's nothing being subtracted from y. So my center is at 1, 0. The radius would be 3. So if you're graphing it, you would find your center and then count out 3 spaces each way, because that's our radius. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and connect the dots. Now let's look at one that's in general form. So the first thing I'm going to do is group my variables together. The x's are all going to go together, and the y's are all going to go together. And then I'm going to put the constant on the other side. So when I move it to the other side, it'll be a negative 1. Now let's think to ourselves, what do we want over here? Well, I want x something squared. Well, it's going to be half of that number. And what I'm missing is that number squared. So that would be a plus 1. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. If I do the same process with the y's, the middle number is a 4, so half of that is 2. 2 squared is 4. And when I add up my numbers on the right side, negative 1 plus 1, then plus a 4, I get 4. So 1, negative 2 is my center. And my radius, so 1, negative 2 is the center, and the radius is 2. So up 2, over 2, so 2 out from each way. Try the next one on your own. Did you get the same thing? The center would be at negative 4, 5, and the radius would be 7. So when we're plotting the points, we'll find our center and then count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the other one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, and connect the dots. And that's how we do a circle.